Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Colorado Rockies. Tuesday Night Baseball is presented by Verizon. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. By Verizon, don't miss a moment of Mets baseball on the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network, only from Verizon. By StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the New York Mets. By Land Rover, above and beyond. And by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Have you tried great-tasting 5-Hour Energy lately? Have a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez with you tonight as the Mets played the second game of a 4-game series against the Colorado Rockies. The Mets are in first place in their division. The Rockies are in last place in theirs. There are a lot of reasons why a contender might beat a non-contending team coming down the stretch of the season. Last night, it was because of a new reality in baseball. A young pitcher, John Gray, pitching a gem, pulled after 75 pitches.
75 pitches. He was 6 innings of 1 hit ball, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And it was really baffling the Met hitters. Very impressive young start for him. But in today's game, they went to the bullpen. It was a gift-wrapped win for the Mets. They'll take it this time of year. They really didn't hit a loud ball. The only hardest hit they had in the whole inning, the 7th inning, the 3-run 7th, was d'Arnaud's single early in the inning. But 2 walk batsmen, a bases loaded hit by pitch, and then a Daniel Murphy 2-out seeing-eye ground ball on the left side of the infield. The Mets went on the win.
That's on only 4 hits all night. That was enough with John Neese pitching well. Tonight it's Matt Harvey on the mound, and Matt has really hit his stride.
Well, he's just pitched terrific. Had a little bump on the road earlier in the season, but he's been very, very steady on a 2-game winning streak. His last start in Miami was really a strong 7-inning start. He has been very successful in his young career in 2 career starts against Colorado, only giving up 1 run in 15 innings pitched.
Left his last start with an 8-0 lead. Mets held on to win 8-6. Mets will face a lefty tonight, Chris Russin, a former Chicago Cub.
Well, pretty much of an inauspicious career. Picked up on waivers last year from the Cubs in September. He's looking for his first win since June 21st. That's over 7 starts, and his last 3 starts have not been very good. Hasn't gotten through 5 innings and an ERA of 7.80.
So the Mets will try and make it 2 straight over the Rockies tonight. When we come back, Steve Gelbs talks with the former Mets, Jose Reyes. Miss a moment of Mets baseball on the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network, only from Verizon. Get to Citi Field this Saturday when the Mets play the Pirates. Stay after the game for a special post-game concert featuring three-time platinum R&B artist Neo. Post-game concert is included in the price of your ticket, and it's all presented by Pepsi. Purchase tickets online at Mets.com/concerts. Well, moments ago, Steve Gelbs caught up with the former Met, now Rocky, Jose Reyes, who's back in town.
Jose, I think a lot of people were pretty shocked by the trade. What was your reaction when you got the news?
Well, nothing surprised me anymore after what happened in Miami my first year, after 1 year I got traded there. Surprised me a little bit because I was sleeping by midnight, and the GM called me to here to see me in the ballpark right away. I said, man, something is not too good about to happen. The first thought in my mind was I get traded, but like I said, it is what it is. The Sunday that I play baseball so good with me.
How has the transition been, on the positive end at least, getting off of that turf and playing on natural grass again?
That's the only thing that I don't miss about Toronto. I mean, the turf there, but they playing good baseball now, so how not gonna miss that. So if they about to get in the fair play and stuff. I wish all the best for those guys. I have very good relationship with everybody on the organization. But like I said, it's time to move on and move forward.
How difficult is that to not just move on from an organization that you did like, but to come to an organization that right now is not competing for the playoffs? And how does that change your goals for the rest of this season?
It's tough for me because I'm the kind of player who love to compete. Just to come to the ballpark every day, you play just to play the game, really. Because I want to win. I am the kind of point of my career I want to play for a competitive ball club. Don't get me wrong, this club has a lot of great talent. I think we're gonna be very good in the future. But I want that to be as soon as possible because I'm 32 years old. So I'm dying to go to a playoff because the first time that I went to a playoff with the Mets, 2006. That was unbelievable feeling, and I miss that.
Well, we appreciate the time. As always, Jose, great to see you, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Jose is 32 years old now. Don't know what he's going to do the rest of his career, but whatever it is, he'll always be remembered as perhaps the most exciting player the Mets have ever had. Matt Harvey creating excitement on the mound when we come back. Night of the Dark Knight. Matt Harvey ascending the mound where he and his young brethren have dominated this year. Jose Reyes will be batting second for the Rockies tonight. He's getting set. Here is the Rockies starting lineup. Charlie Blackmon ascends back into the leadoff spot after Reyes led off last night. The Rockies, a formidable offensive machine at home, not so much on the road, but they have the hottest hitter in baseball right now in Carlos Gonzalez hitting third, and that'll be the prime concern of Matt Harvey.
And there's Matt through his 21 Jeep starts. Excellent hits to innings pitched, and walks are extraordinarily low. Last 9 starts, sporting a 1.64 earned run average. That speaks on its own right there. Pretty impressive.
Little delay as something got loose in the right field corner, and the ball boy diligently making sure that that cap is retrieved before we can start play.
There goes the sombrero. Oh, there you go. They'll get it to him.
And now Matt Harvey can start his night facing Charlie Blackmon, hitting at 291. First pitch coming, and the fastball away for ball 1, and we're underway. Blackmon didn't start last night. Came off the bench, went 0 for 1, having another terrific year. 65 runs scored. That puts him 7th in the National League. 123 hits, 8th in the league. And he lines one foul, and it's 1-1. Blackmon, a guy who kicked around for a couple of years with the Rockies as a reserve and then hit his stride last year and had an all-star season.
356 on base percentage. Hitting 291. I'll take that.
And 344 over his last 30 games. And he pops it up. Yoenis Cespedes playing left field tonight, makes the grab, and that's the first out of the game.
And we'll take a quick look at your Lexus Metropolitan defense. Hey, Juan Lagares back in there. Juan hasn't played since the second game in Miami. Kadire back in right field. And Murphy, his second start at first base. Darno behind the plate.
Nice hand for Reyes as he received when he came to bat for the first time last night. Jose 1 for 4 last night. This is his 12th game with the Rockies after coming over in the trade for Troy Tulowitzki. And the Blue Jays have been flying high ever since Tulo went north of the border. They've won 8 straight to pull within a game and a half of the Yankees. And listening to that interview a moment ago with Jose, he sounded a little wistful about the development.
He did not want to leave. That's the impression that I got. And he's going to a last place team.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Reyes in the offseason. He has 2 more years left on his deal that he originally signed with Miami at big money. And a lot of people figure that the Rockies are going to flip him. But the question is, how much of that salary will they have to eat in order to do so? And the curveball from Harvey in for a strike, 2-2.
12th game for Jose in a Rocky uniform, and has got off to a slow start with the Rocks, hitting only 209 and 43 at bats.
2-2 from Harvey, and it's bounced for Flores. Nice easy hop for Wilmer, and that's the second out. So Reyes retired. Harvey has set down the first 2, and now will face Carlos Gonzalez with the bases empty.
Red hot Carlos Gonzalez, 3 home runs in the last 2 days. Hit the 2-run shot off of John Neese, which was an outside corner fastball, Gare. And the only thing you can say negative about the pitch was he was a little bit up. Wasn't a terrible pitch, and he just hit a bullet.
He is raging hot right now. 13 home runs since the All-Star break, the most in the major leagues. That equals the number he hit before the All-Star break. Only 3 weeks since the break. And there is what he's done over the last 28 games. He was the National League Player of the Month in July. That's presented by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Enter promo code NYM for free entry. And he pulls one. Flores knocks it down, has plenty of time, and it's a 1-2-3 opening inning for Matt Harvey. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the first. No score at Citi Field. Roll tonight with a left-hander on the mound. The Mets have only one left-hand hitter in the lineup. That's Daniel Murphy. Lucas Duda, a little bit of a stiff back. Curtis Granderson, a scheduled day off. There's the Geico starting lineup. And so Uribe hits cleanup. Michael Kadire back in the lineup for the first time since coming off the disabled list yesterday to face the lefty Chris Russin.
6'2", 195-pounder. Born in Detroit. Acquired from the waivers from the Cubs last year. As I stated, he's currently had a really rough patch of getting touched up his last 3 starts. Never pitched against the Mets.
You saw that 1.6 whip, not good at all. Lagares leads off and takes a strike. 7th time this year Juan has led off, and his playing time has diminished greatly since the acquisition of Yoenis Cespedes. He has come off the bench the last 4 games to play defensively. He lines one down the line, and that's a fair ball into the corner. Lagares gets the Mets started with an extra base hit. So taking advantage of the chance to be in the lineup.
High fastball away, stays level, goes right with it. Juan, who has been struggling in his last 34 ball games, hitting 189. It's a nice start for him.
12th double of the year for Lagares. And the Mets look to strike quickly. Daniel Murphy, who had the go-ahead hit in last night's 7th inning, playing first base today with Duda sitting with a stiff back. Murph has been hot, 7-game hitting streak, including that big hit last night. And he takes a fastball for a strike. This has not been a great year for Murph against left-hand pitching. He's hitting just .210. But remember, he hit the home run the other night in St. Pete against a very tough lefty in Jake McGee.
It was a very clutch home run.
There's Duda, who certainly expects to be back in the lineup tomorrow. Slider off the plate from Russin, 1-1.
Very peculiar motion from Russin. He's not generating much leverage with his legs. Kind of rushes in his motion.
Spent 3 years with the Cubs, pitched for them only briefly last year before he was let go on waivers and the Rockies took him, making his 13th start for Colorado tonight. 2-1 to Murphy with Cespedes waiting on deck. Russin, 28 years old, out of the University of Kentucky.
The 4th-round pick in 2009. He just punches toes up in the back foot toes, not on the rubber when he releases, and he's very upright. He is not driving off the rubber at all.
Murphy hits it in the air to left, and Kyle Parker over to get it, and that's the first out.
And a look at the Coors Light Colorado Rocky defense. You got some Gold Glovers out there in right field. He's got 3 of them, Cargo, but they're all for left field. On the infield, you got Nolan Arenado, who's just tremendous, 2 in a row in his young career, and LeMahieu with a Gold Glove last year, and Nick Huntley, the journeyman catcher behind the plate.
Well, here's Cespedes, who was 0 for 4 last night and has very peculiarly struggled against lefties this year. He's hitting 189 against left-handed pitching.
He certainly is. Only 3 home runs of his 18, Gary, and that's over 90 at bats.
He's become a fixture now in that 3rd spot in the batting order. Juan Uribe hitting cleanup tonight.
Looking for his first home run in a Met uniform. I don't care what he does as long as he drives them in. You can drive them in by singles, doubles, just runs scored, and RBI. We already know he's a 5-tool player. You see the shift on him there, not so extreme. He has been pulling a little bit, Gare. He has shown the ability to go to left, right center field. And they pitched him, elevated the strike zone on him. They go upstairs under his, just above the letters. And he has been chasing. And I just think it's him getting familiar with the National League, new pitching. There's Walt Weiss, the manager for the Rockies.
.1-0 from Russin. All-speed pitch, popped up, and Hundley back for a look, but that's out of play. 1-1 to Cespedes. Well, he's played 9 games coming into the day as a Met, and 3 of them were against the American League. And facing the Rockies here, where almost none of these Mets have seen these pitchers before. In fact, he's one of only 2 hitters in the lineup who's faced Russin. He's 1 for 2 against him.
Well, he scored 5 runs and he's driven in 5, so he's accounted for 10 runs, Gary, in 9 ball games.
Lagares at second and 1 out. LeMahieu makes a dash to the bag, and Lagares just gets the hand back in.
Easily back. Wasn't that close. Oh, yes, it was.
The Rockies are considering challenging the call.
Safe.
Paulson, the first baseman, hanging out near the mound, looking into the dugout, but now they've apparently decided not to challenge.
You know, Cespedes has made his impact on this ball club, I think, more. He hasn't gotten hot yet, so more psychologically. You saw Duda get hot last homestand. You know, it looks like the reinforcements were coming. A little help in the lineup that struggled so much to score runs.
And I think that's a good point. 1-1 to Cespedes, and he takes the fastball inside. If you look at the overall numbers of Uribe and Johnson and Conforto and Cespedes, they really don't add up to a lot. However, they've so lengthened the lineup and given the Mets a sense of being able to compete even on nights when their starters are not at the top of their game. That's drilled to left field, but right at Parker, and he picks it off. Lagares back to second base. You can't hit a ball much harder than that.
It's a big hang with him.
That's some serious exit velocity.
Yes. How do you gauge that?
But I think you really need to speak to that, Keith. You know, you put into the computer what Uribe and Cespedes and Johnson and Conforto have done, and you'd say, well, they haven't really had much of an impact, and yet the Mets are 8-2 over this last stretch.
Well, you remember one thing. Johnson hit the only home run he's hit as a Met was his first game right here at City. So his impact was immediately felt. We've gotten 3 home runs. The Mets have gotten 3 home runs from Uribe. And they've gotten big hits.
Juan hitting 179 in his 13 games as a Met.
But I think you see Uribe in the dugout mixing with the young players. He brings that veteran leadership. I think that there's intangibles that there's no barometer for that.
And also, you know, you look at Daniel Murphy, who's been very hot over the last week to 10 days, and he said it last night. I've got Cespedes sitting behind me. Of course I'm hot.
Yes.
You know, there's this feeling in certain quarters that, if you look at the runs per game, recently higher than it's been all year. There's a feeling in some quarters that players do not have impact on other players within a team. Is that true, or is that not true?
I disagree. I think there are, in every walk of life, there are some people in lines of work, whatever they are, that make everybody around them better.
Uribe pops one up. Paulson coming down. Hundley looking as well, and Paulson there to make the play. And that retires the side. So the Mets can't cash the leadoff double by Lagares after 1, no score. Rockies cleanup hitter Nolan Arenado to start the second. Arenado 1 for 4 last night, having a tremendous year, tied for the National League lead with 81 RBIs, career high 27 home runs.
24 years of age.
Arenado, Paulson, and LeMahieu for the Rockies, who start the night 16 games under 500 in last place in the National League West, but who beat the Nationals 2 out of 3 over the weekend.
It's a very is it the only is that a sleeveless jersey or just piping around the shoulder?
I believe that is a sleeveless jersey over a black undershirt.
You know, it's like the cold Cleveland Indians and the Pittsburgh Pirates and Cincinnati Reds when we were growing up, Gare.
Well, I remember the Reds did it to accommodate the bulging biceps of Ted Kluszewski.
Yes, and I would think it would look better to go with the purple long sleeves. Give it a little contrast.
You are so sartorially involved. And it's drilled to left field, but moving over is Cespedes to grab it. And it's dropped, and they're going to say the out counts. Well, last year they were very strict with this early in the season. You had to be able to pull the ball out of your glove cleanly, and boy, he sure did not. But the Mets are going to get the benefit of that.
Let's see.
And Walt Weiss signaling from the dugout that he did not catch it. You're supposed to be able to make the transfer into your bare hand cleanly, and clearly Cespedes did not.
I think it's a catch, to be honest with you.
Well, they called him out, and I don't think that's a challengeable call. And so Arenado is retired despite the drop on the transfer. So the Mets got a bit of a break there. 1 out. Now Ben Paulson. We saw that a couple of years ago. Remember, we were in Philadelphia, and Ben Revere was called for not pulling the ball out of his glove successfully. And then last year they got very strict about it early in the year, and then became less strict as the year went along. Paulson, the regular first baseman, with the latest concussion problems that have plagued Justin Morneau, and Paulson's taken advantage of it. Today's date is 8/11, which is the perfect day for SNY and the Mets to partner with New York 811, a nonprofit that raises awareness of safety precautions before starting an excavation project. As Paulson strikes out for the second out, let's go to Steve Gelbs, who's standing by with more. Steve?
Yeah, Gary, here with Bob Kipp and Roger Sampson with the New York 811. Roger is the executive director. And Roger, what is the reasoning behind and why has it been so important for you to partner with SNY and the Mets?
Well, today's 811 day, and the Mets and SNY have been great partners with us and help promoting 811 awareness. 811 is the national number to call before you dig. We want to encourage everyone, homeowners, excavators, to make that important call, get the utility lines marked out, so this way you don't damage anything and you don't knock out any vital services or injure yourself in the process.
And guys, they've got a pretty good crew here at the game today. You may be able to pick them out of a lineup. I'm just saying the clothes are pretty out there. Care.
All before you dig. 0-2 to DJ LeMahieu, who was 1 for 4 last night. And Harvey goes to the slider, 1-2. Nick Hundley would be next. LeMahieu starts the night 6th in the National League in batting, hitting .317. He's had a breakout season offensively. Tops one down toward third. That's a fair ball, and Uribe with a long throw, not in time. Well, after all those fair foul questions in Tampa Bay, this one was clearly fair, and that ball just rolled up the arm of Uribe, which cost him the play.
On the exchange here, just couldn't get the grip. Would have made the play if he had the secure, easy exchange, and it was fair.
And they're going to score that a base hit.
I agree.
Not sure if Harvey will agree.
If it's a one-hitter at the end of the game, yes.
I was thinking. So that's the first base runner for the Rockies, a 2-out infield hit for LeMahieu. And now Nick Hundley, who had a couple of infield hits in the game last night against John Deese. He's pitched another terrific game last night. Gave up the 2-run homer to Cargo, but nothing else over 7 innings. And, you know, we said it last night. He's been overshadowed by all the power arms that the Mets send out there 3 days out of 5. But he's has really done a great job.
He's been fabulous. 7-9 now. 2 starts away from getting to 500. Long climb for Jonathan.
Hundley hitting a .303, his best offensive year. By the way, Neese didn't walk anybody last night, and neither did the bullpen. It's the 19th time this year that the Mets have not walked a batter, which is a new franchise record. And we still have 50 games to go. Just shows you how stingy they've been with walks all year.
Yeah, walks are kill. Just ask the Rockies last night.
And promptly, Harvey falls behind Hundley 2-0. It's like on cue. The last time a Met pitcher walked a batter was in the 6th inning Saturday night when Sean Gilmartin walked Evan Longoria. Mayhew 15 steals this year. And Hundley takes a strike, 2-1. Rockies have got some nice offensive weapons, but they're just not the same team when they leave Coors Field. 5.5 runs per game at home, 3.6 runs per game on the road.
And an ERA at home over 5.
There goes LeMahieu, the pitch outside, and LeMahieu steals the base easily, his 16th of the year.
Well, there's such a good jump here, and he just did not have a good grip at all. I don't think it would have mattered.
Harvey has not done a great job holding runners this year. That's 9 stolen bases in 12 tries against Matt. So now runner in scoring position with 2 out, a 3-1 count to Hundley with the 8-hitter Kyle Parker on deck. And Hundley hits one in the air to left. This should stay in the ballpark. Cespedes back to the warning track, and he makes the grab to end the inning. An infield hit and a man left on. Middle of the 2nd at Citi Field. No score. Wherever you are with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. SNY's Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. Michael Kadire, his first at bat since coming off the disabled list, and his first at bat against the Rockies since leaving them as a free agent. Spent 3 years as a Rocky and hit .307 over those 3 seasons. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike from Russell.
Last game for Kadire was July 21st at Washington, so quite a stint on the DL.
Has a bone bruise on his left knee, flies one out to right field, and the car goes right there. And Kadire retired one away. Well, Michael is going to be in a reduced role now, at least for the time being. The way the Mets have reconfigured their team, Kadire, who was a frequent cleanup hitter for the Mets, now has become something of a part-time platoon player.
Well, you've got there's nice applause for Wilmer. It just goes on every night.
Wilmer didn't play last night, so it's the first chance on this homestand for the home folks to greet their folk hero. What was stunning for Flores is the way he received tributes on the road.
Yes, he did. Well, with today's world, with all the other networks and, of course, SNY, everybody saw it around the country.
But my question is, was it that there were that many Mets fans in Miami and St. Pete, or was it that home fans there participated as well?
I thought it was collective, everybody. It was very nice to see.
See if that continues. And Flores lines one to left. That's down for a base hit. Well, one thing is for certain, Wilmer, since the non-trade, has certainly responded with his bat.
It's a little change up down and away, kept his hands back. Let go with one hand. Good balance. Nice counter to a good location on a change.
So 1 out and 1 on. Mets had their second hit. Travis d'Arnaud had the first 2 Mets hits last night, a home run and a single. Mets had only 1 hit over the first 6 innings against the rookie starter John Gray, and it was d'Arnaud's first home run since coming back from the disabled list. And Travis takes a fastball for a strike. 90, that's about where Russell's going to top out. Travis playing his 8th game since coming back from the sprained left elbow. The cutter runs inside, 1-1.
Well, 90 would be what he tops out, and this guy is a soft tosser, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
Really, his stuff is very similar to John Neese's stuff.
He's got, well, maybe he's just one of those sinker, slider, changeup lefties. Seen a million of them over the decades have great success. And you turn around, everybody always says, if he was a right-hander, would he get away with that? And everybody says, no. It's just something to do with that soft toss and left-hander. And they can befuddle right-hand hitters.
Well, so far this year, Rustin has not really befuddled anybody. Both
correct.
Lefties and righties are hitting over 300 against him.
100 hits and 75 1/3.
In the air to right field, chasing Cargo back, but he'll have room onto the warning track for the second out. So 2 out, Flores still at first. And now Ruben Tejada hitting 8th in the order tonight.
Gary, did you mention something in between innings about Bryce Harper being scratched from the lineup?
I just saw that. Harper out of the lineup tonight for the Nats. Not seen why as of yet. Nats won in Los Angeles last night, but their task is a little tougher tonight.
That'll be Ross against Greinke.
Greinke tonight, Kershaw tomorrow.
You get the big 2.
But Gio Gonzalez pitched great last night, held the Dodgers scoreless for 8, and he has really settled into a groove. And that's a great sign for the Nationals. Here's Tejada, who walked twice last night and reached on an error.
Well, most of the rain is cleared out of here. Looks like a little residual clouds poured out my neck of the woods this morning, Gare.
I think your neck is wetter than most. And you have dunes protecting you. Right?
Well, I'm more near Peconic Bay than I am the ocean.
So there are no dunes.
It's pretty rocky. So Ruben up to 259 coming into this game and made a nice rise here, but playing real well. The best I've seen him play, Gare, since his rookie year.
Well, 2012 he finished the year hitting 287 as a regular shortstop. That was the first year after Reyes left. And it appeared the Mets were in good hands at short, and it just hadn't worked out the last 2 years, but he has recovered. And whatever that is, whether that's competition or whether it's a renewed work ethic, I don't know, but it's a different Ruben Tejada.
Well, maybe it just takes a little longer for some guys to figure it out, but you have a tremendous opportunity to support your family in a very, very powerful way and also play a sport while doing it.
Russell behind 3-1. And Tejada takes a strike, and it's more fun when you play well.
Yes. I always often wondered, couldn't be any fun for those 210 hitters.
But at least they got the pension. Paulson's going to play behind Flores. He'll be running now with 3-2 and 2 out. And Harvey would be next. And Tejada grounds one to short. Reyes on the backhand. And he throws out his successor for the third out. A hit and one left after 2 at Citi Field. Mets and Rockies, no score. On one of the Colorado batting order. For the Coldwell Banker home field advantage. And you know, Dodger Stadium used to be the place where the power pitchers thrived. Well, now at Citi Field, those three guys combined are 17-5 with a 2.01 ERA. The Mets are 24-6 in their starts at home this year.
It's a pretty good trio, is it not?
And there's more where that came from.
I'm trying to think of there's a pop-up in the infield right there.
Tejada squeezes it to retire Carl Parker on one pitch.
I'm trying to think of a power starting rotation 3 like the Mets. And I can think of Houston when they had only 2. They had Nolan Ryan and JR. It was 2 big flamethrowers. The Dodgers, they never, when they had Don Sutton and Jerry Royce, Jerry wasn't a real flamethrower at that point in his career.
Yeah, Koufax and Drysdale.
Well, I'm trying to be more contemporary.
Slightly.
It's difficult.
Chris Rustin, a pretty good hitting pitcher. In fact, he hit a home run against Carlos Martinez in St. Louis a couple of starts back.
You know who was a real hard thrower, Gare?
And Rustin trying to drop down a bunt, but it goes foul.
When I first came up in my rookie, wasn't my rookie year, but it was like 75, first full season I broke out of camp. Pittsburgh had Candelaria, who threw flames. The other had Bibby, threw flames. And George Brett's brother, Ken Brett, he threw bullets.
Good thing they didn't have Bob Veal anymore.
No, Bob Veal was gone.
He was.
Lou Brock told me stories about Bob Veal and Rusty. I'm glad I missed him.
0-2 to Russin, and he just got a piece of the breaking ball.
But I find it interesting that you got such a great third baseman, a Hall of Famer, 3,000 hits in George Brett, and his brother was a pitcher.
And one of the better hitting pitchers.
Yes, he was a good hitting pitcher, and he was straight as a string, but he threw hard. I mean, he threw hard.
Rounded down to Murphy at first base, and he leads Harvey, who just beats Russin to the bag for the second out. Murphy making just his second start of the season at first base.
Little stretch there.
Murph has now started 159 games at first base. 97 of those came in 2009 when he was the regular first baseman for the Mets. He's had just a smattering there since. He was not supposed to be playing first base tonight, but Lucas Duda scratched with a stiff back. Curtis Granderson out of the lineup tonight as well for the Mets. That was a scheduled day off, and it'll be interesting to see if Curtis plays tonight because he is the only Met who has played in every game this season. 2 out and nobody on. Here's Charlie Blackmon, who flied to left his first time up.
Good.
Ken Brett, by the way, lifetime 262 hitter with 10 home runs. That's a good hitting pitcher.
And then they followed that with Rick Rhoden and Donnie Robinson. It was the next group. There were 2 great hitting pitchers for the Pirates.
What is it about the Pirates? They've always had hitters.
They've got the most batting champions in the history of the game.
Well, they've got former MVP playing center field now, who's having another MVP type season. Good changeup by Harvey, 1 and 2.
Very good changeup.
You know, we're going to see the Pirates this weekend. McCutcheon got off to a dreadful start, but he is just raging now.
Well, the Pirates turned it around when the Mets went into that. Was it a 4-game series? Or was it 3? I forget. And they got swept, and that got the Pirates rolling.
Harvey ahead 1 and 2 on Blackmon. 2 and 2.
You got the Pirates 5 games behind the Cardinals, and the Cardinals have got 71 wins, and the Pirates are 5 games back.
They're sitting in the first wild card spot. Blackmon takes just off the plate. Harvey thought he might have gotten the call, but no dice from Sam Holbrook. 3 and 2.
See where the Cubs have also on top of number 2 spot. They've been raging hot.
And they're 3.5 up on the Giants for that second spot. Blackmon grounds one down to Murphy. He'll take this one himself. And Harvey's got himself a 1-2-3 top of the third. No score at Citi Field. to hashtag SNY Data Strong Fan, you could see yourself in an upcoming broadcast just like number 50. Bill Webb right on top of the most perfect sunset in New York.
Well, but he's been doing it long enough.
You saying he's in the sunset?
You better get it right. He's been here forever.
Matt Harvey will lead off for the Mets in the home third. Matt has 7 hits and 7 RBIs this year. Facing Chris Russin, who's given up 2 hits. Harvey, Lagares, and Murphy for the Mets in the third. And Matt fouls one off the right side, and Paulson will watch it go into the crowd. You know, it's so hard to judge when you look at pitchers' numbers for the Rockies because you have to factor in the Coors Field factor. But interestingly, with Russin, he's actually pitched better at Coors than he has on the road.
He's given up also 8 home runs on the road and only 3 at Coors Field, and he's got 12 starts. I mean, 12 starts, 6 and 6 home and away.
Harvey rips one, and Reyes with a tremendous pickup, and he throws him out. That was a bullet off the bat of Harvey, and Reyes with the do-or-die play, 1 away.
Well, when you got good hands, this is what happens. Watch Jose, top of your screen. That's just all reactive, and you have an idea where you think the ball's going to go, and it took an up hop too. So just a terrific play by Jose.
Well, we haven't watched Jose as much the last few years. They say that his defense is not as good as it once was, but he made a terrific play there. 1 out and nobody on now. Lagares, who led off the first inning with a double into the right field corner. And he hits this one sharply. LeMahieu can't get to it. And Lagares is 2 for 2. LeMahieu, a Gold Glove second baseman, appeared to be leaning the wrong way.
It's like he got caught flat-footed, Garrett. He didn't go the wrong way. He just didn't get a good jump on this ball. That ball hit pretty hard, too.
So the Mets have their 3rd hit. Lagares has his first multi-hit game since July the 20th. And the Mets have a 1-out base runner for Murphy, who flied to left his first time up. Isn't this refreshing to watch with this team, though, right now, because of the competition for jobs? Lagares hasn't started a game in a week.
Yeah.
Gets in the lineup.
Look
He's
at
got
Neese.
2 solidly hit balls.
Put Neese in that category. Neese has pitched great since Matt's came up. Wasn't Neese at one point like 2-7 or 2-6?
He certainly looked at one point like he was a candidate to get bumped from the rotation.
Yeah.
But he has really picked it up the last 2 months. You see the Mets at 60 wins now, quickest they've gotten there in some time. It's in a race in August for the first time since 2008. And Murphy smacks one into center for a base hit. Lagares pulls in at second. Blackman's got a very strong arm. And so the Mets have 2 men aboard. And they're hitting some balls very hard against Russell.
Right down the pipe, frozen rope by Murph. The ball was, you can hang laundry on this line drive.
Well, 3 bullets to start this inning. If not for the Reyes play, could be a very different inning already. Instead, 2 men on for Cespedes, who's probably got the hardest hit ball of all. A hard line drive to left field that Parker caught in the first inning. Lagares at second, Murphy at first, and 1 out. And Cespedes takes a changeup for a strike. You see the runners in scoring position numbers for Cespedes, who has 66 RBIs, 5 as a Met. And he takes that one on the corner, and it's 0-2.
Cespedes right now has been a little out in front, has been pulling. That's a little backdoor slider, just snuck in there. I don't feel he's really gotten comfortable yet here in a Met uniform. And a National League. They want to go upstairs, Gary. That's where they've been getting him lately. Yep.
And they get him again. So Cespedes down on strikes, first of the night for Russin, and that's the second out of the inning.
He's too good a hitter, he'll be fine. He doesn't generate much legs in his swing. It's more a lot of upper body strength.
So 2 out and 2 on, and now Juan Uribe, who fouled out his first time up. Uribe this year hitting .288 against lefties. 5 of his 11 home runs have come against left-hand pitching. And the backdoor cutter in for a strike, 0-1.
I have a hunch Uribe is going to, if he gets a favorable count, which would be 2-1, he's going to look for something to pull, but I have a hunch he's going to go the opposite field. He's too smart a hitter.
Russin has thrown 12 straight strikes, leading to several hard hit balls, and that streak is broken. A ball and a strike.
Very shallow Blackman in center field, shaded a little bit to the opposite field, and Cargo in right. He's playing it as if Uribe is a dead pull left-hand hitter.
To Uribe. And both those gentlemen, Blackman and Gonzalez, have terrific outfield arm.
Yes. Beautiful night here at the stadium.
Boy, it didn't look that way early on, but things have cleared out nicely. Just a few remaining clouds. Lagares at second, Murphy at first, and Uribe grounds one foul. Mets are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position so far tonight. Lagares twice has reached second base. Two out, 2 on, 2-2 to Uribe. In tight, full count.
Oh, Russin throwing inside against the veteran right-hand hitter with 2 strikes. He's got to do that.
Dyer would be next. Walt Weiss should be able to stick with his starter beyond 75 pitches tonight. Runners get set to go, and Russin gives a look at Lagares before he does. Lagares and Murphy get set to motor. 3-2 to Uribe. And he popped it up. Reyes with the angle. And he puts it away to retire the side. So Russin pitching around trouble in the third. We go to the fourth with no score. sky.
Yes.
That is just spectacular. No filter there, folks. That's what it really looks like. Jose Reyes, who really saved Chris Russin's bacon in that last half inning, leads off against Matt Harvey and takes a curveball for a strike. Reyes grounded out to second base his first time up.
Both corner infielders in. How are they going to move back?
Reyes, Gonzalez, and Arenado for the Rockies against Harvey, who's now thrown 10 straight scoreless innings. 7 against Miami and 3 tonight. 1 and 2 to Reyes.
That outfielder is also playing shallow. Cespedes shallow and left. Lagares always plays shallow. Kadyr's playing a little deeper.
1-2, and Reyes fouls off the fastball. The only shutout that Matt Harvey has ever thrown in his professional career came a shade over 2 years ago here at Citi Field against the Rockies. Matt threw a 4-hitter that night. And the changeup misses 2-2. The one of the 4 hits in that game for the Rockies belonged to Michael Kadir. And what characterized Matt's night that night is that he got 14 ground ball outs, which is the most he's ever gotten in a game. Just missed inside to Reyes, 3-2. And Jose smacks one to center field. Lagares easing back. 1 out. So for the second straight time, Carlos Gonzalez will come up with the bases empty. Gonzalez grounded out to second base his first time up. We were talking earlier about Andrew McCutchen getting off to a slow start this year and going all Delta Force the last 2 months. Well, that's pretty much the way Carlos Gonzalez's season has gone as well.
He's one of the sweet swingers of the game.
Let me ask you this. Comparing the two of them and the situation they're in right now with a month and a half to go. McCutchen's in the middle of a pennant race. Gonzalez, nothing. Does it affect how you play down the stretch of the season when you're trying to put up a big year?
Well, I'll answer in a different vein, Garrett. I think you would perform better in a stretch run because you got something to come to the park for and to be fired up for, and it's a team effort and you're trying to win. If you're in Cargo's situation, good pitch right there and a fastball in, your motivation is more, I don't want it, selfish is not the right word.
Personal?
Yes, because you want to have the best year you're going to have. I mean, when I won my batting title, strike 3 right there, Harvey. Nice changeup, 90-mile-an-hour changeup, by the way.
Second strikeout for that.
We finished a distant third. I was playing when Pete Rose made his run at me. We had the final 5 weeks. We had a battle. I was basically going to the park every day. You know, we had no chance of winning or getting into the playoffs. Winning the division then, no wild card. So I think it also depends on the individual. But yeah, I think you'd be much more optimum, be in a stretch run, be in the hunt.
I mean, you heard Jose Reyes talking with Steve Gelbs before the game. It almost sounded like he was devastated at not being in a race coming down the stretch. He was expecting to be in one in Toronto, and it almost sounded like some of the air was taken out of him.
Right, and when I was traded to the Mets, a lot of the air was taken out of my sails. June 15th, not even quite halfway through the season. So it's always unsettling when you're traded in the middle of a year. And I can't speak as a seasoned veteran, and I was lucky enough I only played for 3 teams in my career, and I was only traded once in the middle of the season. And much like Jose, from a team on top or near the top, to a last place team. It was a very, very tough second half for me. But work ethic there, be the best you can be, day in, day out.
Last playoff appearance for Reyes and for the Mets. Arenado bounces one foul.
Well, Matt has been pitching like we've been seeing him. When we mentioned his ERA, well below 2, and it's why he's just been so overpowering.
Last 9 starts, 1.64. Arenado hits one toward the hole. Nice backhand play by Tejada. A one-hop throw. Murphy with the stretch, and he got him. Wow.
Was Murph on the base?
Well,
no way. What's wrong with it?
Well, the Mets are not leaving the field. They're assuming that the Rockies are going to challenge this. And it certainly appeared as though Murph might be off the base, and the Rockies will challenge, and so we'll wait and see. But quite a play by Tejada on a hot smash by Arenado, and Murphy doing his best in a rare first base appearance to make this stretch.
It's all that Murph can do. He did all the proper footwork, nice stretch. It's just the ball took him off the base.
Ben May, the youngest, least experienced umpire of this crew, made the call, and clearly he was off the base. So it would appear this is going to get overturned, and rather quickly.
I don't understand how he missed it.
So it'll be an infield hit for Arenado. The play under review brought to you by Mazda. Driving matters. So it'll be the second hit against Harvey, and both of the infield variety. This one the result of the Rockies' challenge. So Arenado on first with 2 out, and Ben Paulson the batter. Paulson struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Well, in his last start, Matt gave up only 2 hits. In that game, he gave up a first inning double to Derek Dietrich and then an infield hit to D. Gordon in the 3rd. So the last 3 hits against Harvey, and that's covering 13 innings now, have all been infield hits.
You know what I feel, Gare, about Matt? I think he's going to be better next year. One year removed from another year removed from Tommy John. I love his motion. He's effortless, and he's still throwing hard, and he knows what he's doing. I think next year he's going to throw harder. I really do.
Paulson lines one to left, but right at Cespedes, and that'll do it for the Rockies in the 4th. Matt Harvey, 11 straight scoreless innings. The crew weighs in on the Geno Smith situation and how the Jets will cope without their starting quarterback. Plus, hear from Marcus Gilchrist and Buster Skrine why these new additions may hold the keys to the secondary success on Jets Nation Inside Camp Sunday at 7, only on SNY.
Should be a very interesting Inside Camp.
It's almost incomprehensible. Michael Kadire takes a strike. Have you ever heard of such a serious injury resulting from a locker room scuffle?
No.
Broken jaw, 6 to 10 weeks. Kadire pulls one foul and it's 0-2.
No, I have not.
I mean, was it Cliff Johnson who injured Rich Gossage back in the day in the Yankee clubhouse? Here's the quote from Jim Bowden. Baseball players are smarter than football players. How often do you see? That's funny. Hockey teams. Fly ball right field. And Carlos Gonzalez there to grab it. And Kadire retired, 2 out. 1 out, excuse me. I guess I counted Geno as the first out. Here's Wilmer Flores, who had a base hit his first time up. Wilmer's numbers since the non-trade, 9 for 28. He's hitting .321 since the tears flowed on that Wednesday night. Meanwhile, Chris Russin continues to keep the Mets at bay. He's given up 4 hits, made some big pitches in big spots to keep the Mets off the board. Got a great play behind him by Reyes to help.
Was there ever a player in the Met uniform, number 4? That's an unusual first number.
Ron Swoboda, Rusty Staub.
I thought Rusty did. Okay.
Rusty wore 10 and 4.
That's an unusual number for a single-digit number.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Robin Ventura wore it when he was with the Mets.
That was 7, of course.
Well, that was Reyes' number. It was Cranepool's number. It was Mickey Mantle's number.
Thank you.
Hit hard, a base hit for Flores. Now to go all the way into the corner. So Wilmer Flores is 2 for 2. His 18th double of the year.
5th hit for the Mets. 10th hit for Wilmer since the trade that wasn't.
That'll keep those standing ovations going.
Right by the 2-time Gold Glover, hit too hard. I love that work of the camera there and the zoom.
So the Mets, who have gotten runners into scoring position but had trouble getting them home so far tonight, have another crack at it with d'Arnaud. Fly deep to right his first time up. Mets are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. D'Arnaud takes the changeup outside, ball 1. Ruben Tejada, the number 8 hitter, on deck. So we'll see how carefully Russin works in this spot against d'Arnaud in a scoreless game. And misses with a cutter, 2-0. By the way, we mentioned Bryce Harper out of the lineup for the Nats tonight. Sore left knee. Hopes to be able to play tomorrow. Nats play later against Greinke and the Dodgers. Good changeup by Russin. 2-1.
See what I mean about those left-handers? Those crafty left-handers. It's amazing what they can do when they have a good changeup and pitch inside enough.
d'Arnaud homered last night. Hits this one to right field, but Gonzalez right there. And back to second goes Flores, 2 out. So it's left to Tejada, and we'll see whether they pitch to him or walk him and pitch to Harvey with first base open.
They're going to walk him, which I don't agree. Harvey's a good hitter. I would go after Tejada.
Walt Weiss has already made up his mind. They're going to walk Rubin.
I mean, you can't second guess it. I mean, it's the manager's choice here.
I have to tell you, back when you were playing, nobody did this.
Yes.
Nobody. And
only when late and tight.
First time I ever saw it was when Jeff Torborg came over to manage the Mets in '92 from the American League. He started doing it, walking the 8-hitter to get to the pitcher. Before that, I had never seen it done. And now it's fairly routine. I mean, the whole concept was you want to get the 8-hitter out, who's usually a light hitter,
right,
and have the pitcher lead off the next inning.
Well, to me, it's in the middle of the game. You can do it if it's a tie ball game, one-run game. Because late, the manager may pinch hit.
Wasn't sure whether that was ball 4. It was. There are your city probables for the remainder of the series. Jacob deGrom against the lefty Jorge De La Rosa tomorrow night. Noah Syndergaard in the early day game Thursday against the struggling rookie Eddie Butler. deGrom has not had his best stuff the last 2 outings, but has still pitched very well.
He was a little better his last time out. Had more command of his fastball and his changeup, but still he didn't have his breaking stuff.
Harvey scorched one his first time up, but Reyes robbed him of a hit. 2 out and 2 on. And Matt goes after the first pitch changeup, 0-1.
Well, Matt, you're not going to get a first pitch fastball because most good hitting pitchers, they want to hit a fastball.
Matt has 7 RBIs this year. He's 5 for 16 with runners in scoring position. That's a .313 average. And now he's down to the count 0-2. By the way, just to button up, we were talking about before, the Goose Gossage Cliff Johnson fight in 1979 put Gossage on the DL for 2 months with a thumb injury. And Cliff Johnson was traded to Cleveland soon after. I guess that's the closest to Geno Smith. Harvey down on strikes, so Russin again able to pitch out of trouble. Mets are now 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position over the first 4 innings. SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, featuring pitch-by-pitch coverage, player cards, and in-depth stats. Check out SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports. Matt Harvey has held the Rockies to 2 infield hits over the first 4 innings as you look at the Chrysler 5th inning recap. Chris Russin's had far more traffic to have to contend with, but the Mets have gone 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And so we have a scoreless game as we start the 5th. DJ LeMahieu had the first Colorado hit, a slow roller along the third baseline that Uribe had run up his arm, and LeMahieu was able to beat it out. 6, 7, and 8 in the order against Harvey in the 5th, and LeMahieu takes a strike. Nick Hundley on deck, then Kyle Parker for Colorado. And Harvey quickly up in the count 0-2. Matt has only struck out 2 tonight. Strikeouts are a little down for Harvey over his last 10 starts, but the results have been terrific. Pops one outside, 1-2.
Wasn't happy with the location of that pitch.
You figure Harvey as a 10 strikeout per 9 inning guy. He's at 8.4 this year.
Still, you know what? The game has changed. 8.4 was plenty.
Sure.
30 years ago.
2-2. Fouled away. You know what I saw today? The major league average for strikeout to walk ratio this year is 2.7 to 1. It used to be if you had a 2 to 1 ratio, that was awfully good.
Right.
Now strikeouts have ballooned, walks are down, and it seems like everybody can throw strikes and strike people out. It wasn't always that way.
There's far more pitchers today with strikeouts the same as innings pitched. And when I was playing, I'd look at the stats. And see, there's the Mets right there.
I mean, the Mets might set a record for best strikeout to walk ratio as a staff.
See, 2011 is the furthest away. The Phillies.
I mean, that's incredible.
That was that nice pitching staff they had. Oh, tied him up.
So LeMahieu gets tied in a knot, and Harvey has his 3rd strikeout.
Wanted to go away, came up and in, and tied him upstairs. Tied him up upstairs.
So 1 out and nobody on. Nick Hundley coming up. Let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary, Keith, you guys have been talking a little bit about Jonathan Neese tonight. He's on such a good roll right now. Yesterday, 7 innings, just 2 runs for another win. And, you know, when he's rolling like this, he's feeling good, he's feeling happy. He agreed to let us follow him throughout his off days, what he does, his routine in between each and every start. Now, today's report, it's going to be both last night after he got taken out and today. So let's start out with last night. When John Neese gets taken out of a game, he likes to watch his team hit, which the last 2 times has been pretty fun to watch as they've come back and gotten him a win. But he watches his team hit. Then when their turn at bat is done, he goes back into the clubhouse, has a protein shake, watches the rest of the game from the clubhouse. But, you know, he really doesn't do all that much more. He said he doesn't ice unless there is something that is sore. Last night, his body felt great. Didn't ice anything down. Today, well, today he actually is doing something very different this year than he did last season. When he comes to the park, he gets here at about 2 o'clock, eats, then at 3 o'clock he goes and does some hydro work in the pool. He runs in the pool, sometimes with jets shooting towards him just for a little bit of resistance. Gets out of the pool, goes out onto the field, throws from about 90 feet, only 4-seamers and changeups, doesn't spin any. Then comes back in and does a light upper body workout, works on his scaps, does some weightlifting, but that is very different than what he did, his routine in years past. He would come to the park. When he would run on flat ground. When he would work out, he would do his heavy workout, his leg workout day. And the reason he changed that, the pool versus running on flat ground, is because it's just so much better on the joints. And his workout has changed because John Neese is a guy that all throughout his career has been much more sore the day after a start than any other day throughout the week. And he decided finally it's probably counterproductive for me to do my heaviest workout the day after a start. I'm probably not getting as much out of it as I can. So now he switches that to tomorrow, which we will get to tomorrow during the game.
Now, we used to see John running laps around the ballpark the day after his start routinely. Hundley down on strikes, and Harvey with back-to-back strikeouts.
All upstairs, too, Gary. Seems to be answering your only 2 strikeouts so far this game. Here he is, boom, boom, the 5th. But always interesting what the pitcher's routines are, and I think as you become more experienced and a veteran, you tinker and make alterations. What works best for you? Everybody's different. Everybody's body's different.
There's Kyle Parker with 2 out and nobody on. Popped up his first time up. I just think that, you know, pitchers running used to be a huge part of every pitcher's routine, and it's not that way anymore. Still getting their cardio in different ways. 1-on-1 to Parker.
Well, I know Jim Cott, my friend and former teammate, was the pitching coach for Pete Rose's Reds, and he didn't want his pitchers running on the AstroTurf, in particular at Old Riverfront. He encouraged them. This should end the inning right here.
Oh, Uribe can't make the bare hand pickup, and it's yet another infield hit for the Rockies. They've got 3 hits in this game, all on the infield.
So to finish my point, Jim Cott didn't encourage his pitchers to do the stationary bike.
And guys, we've heard so much this season about John Neese finally feeling good and being healthy, and he said that there are a lot of factors that go into it, but he thinks this changing of the day after routine, he thinks that has helped across the board because he's getting the most out of the work that he is doing.
Russin, first pitch swinging, grounds one to Flores, and that'll do it for the Rockies in the top of the 5th. Harvey now with 12 straight scoreless innings. Halfway through, Mets and Rockies, no score. The right way.
Well, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, and these infields are so manicured, hard to see a bad hop. But on a routine ground ball to end an inning, any ground ball, just do it the proper way. Get in front, get your body in front, get your glove down, and make the play. You never know. The ball takes a bad hop, it rolls up your arm. It's just a pet peeve of mine.
Third time around the batting order for the lefty Chris Russin. So far, he's been able to maneuver his way out of trouble several times. Mets have had base runners in every inning, but gone 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Lagares has done his job at the top of the order. A double in the first, a single in the third, 2 for 2. Getting his first start in a week. Lagares, Murphy, and Cespedes in the bottom of the 5th. And the cutter in for a strike from Russin.
Well, this is where Russin has been getting into his difficulties. His last 3 starts, he has not been able to get past 5 innings.
Went 5 his last start against Seattle. Gave up 3 runs, 8 hits, and no decision for him. Last 4 starts, 0-1, 6.43 ERA, but 5 scoreless innings tonight.
The Mets have left 6 men on base.
And Lagares trying to bunt his way on. Foul ball.
All right, it's Verizon Stump Gary night. You ready for it, Gary?
If we're ready, I'm ready.
Who were the 4 Mets to wear the number 0 or 00?
Well, Ray Ordonez wore 0 for a while before he switched to 10. Omar Quintanilla wore 0.
Yes.
Tony Clark wore 00. So that's 3. There's one more. As Lagares strikes out for the first out. Third strikeout for Russell. Was it did Terry McDaniel wear 0? I think he was the other guy.
What did he play?
He was in back in the 80s. Early 80s, probably before you got there.
Okay.
I think he's the 4th guy. The other 3 I know for sure. Quintanilla, Ordonez, and Clark. And I think Terry McDaniel was the 4th. Daniel Murphy 1 for 2. Single to center his last time up. And he takes the strike.
He's going to talk to the umpires.
He knows them all.
He's got a little bit of a gripe there. I thought that ball was low.
Yoenis Cespedes on deck. Quick pitch. And it's fouled off. That was interesting. Russin adding a little wrinkle there.
Sneaky.
Well, you know, he had LaTroy Hawkins on his staff this year. The Mets all learned that quick pitch from LaTroy, and perhaps some of the Rockies pitchers did as well. LaTroy went to Toronto in the Tulowitzki for Reyes deal. 42 and still going strong. Bounce down to first. Paulson on the back end. And there are 2 outs, so Russin keeps rolling along.
Well, Stump Gary, Verizon answer. Were you right?
Apparently I was.
You are incredible.
I was wrong about one thing, though. Terry McDaniel, 1991.
Oh, okay.
So it was after you left, not before you arrived. 23 games. Barely a blip on the radar.
Really?
So here's Cespedes with 2 out and nobody on. He's lined to left and struck out 0 for 2. Russin looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Little dribbler, and Russin gets off the mound nicely, and he's got that elusive 1-2-3 inning, and we are scoreless through 5 at Citi Field. Mets and Rockies. last year, but Matt Harvey has done some things that nobody or few have ever done. I like the one at the bottom. Only pitcher in history in his first 50 starts to have 350 strikeouts but fewer than 350 base runners. It's pretty awesome. Only one in history. Third time around the batting order for him tonight. Charlie Blackmon leads off. And the thing about that first number, and this is what I always marvel at, 28 times in his career out of 57 starts he's allowed no runs or 1 run, and yet he only has 22 wins in his career, which shows you how little support he's had. Blackmon hits one right to Flores, and so Blackmon now 0 for 3. Harvey's retired the leadoff hitter in every inning. Only 3 base runners for the Rockies tonight, and they've all come on infield singles. Jose Reyes is 0 for 2. Grounded out and flied out. Russin having to prepare himself for the next inning. He hasn't gone far into games quite often.
Well, he's got to be pleased. As you said, his last 4 starts were, he was usually in the showers by now.
A little potassium going. Reyes, shallow right. On comes Kadire to dive and make the catch. Michael Kadire's first game in right field this year. Place he patrolled ably for the Rockies the last 3 seasons, and he makes a nice play.
Well, nice break in on it. Well done.
First game back from the DL. Knee feeling a little bit better. And Kadire makes a nice play. Now in a scoreless game, a dangerous moment as Carlos Gonzalez steps in. Grounded out and struck out tonight.
13 of his Matt's 16 home runs to left-handers, so he's got to be very, very careful with this guy. Red hot.
"26 home runs this year, 13 since the All-Star break, the most in the majors. Out to left field and should be easy for Cespedes. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Harvey. 6 scoreless under his belt tonight. Still no score. down 2-1 in Cleveland in the 6th inning.
Talk about a trade making a big impact.
Juan Uribe will lead off the home 6th inning against Chris Russin, and he dribbles one foul. Russin came in with a 4.66 ERA, 6.43 over his last 4 starts, and the Mets, although they've had chances, are not able to cash a run against the 28-year-old lefty out of the University of Kentucky. Michael Cuddyer on deck, and then Wilmer Flores. Uribe's popped up twice tonight, and he takes that fastball inside, 1-1. Well, both the starters have been good. People's United Bank. Harvey hasn't walked the batter, given up 3 infield hits. Russin 5 hits, but no runs. 2-1 to Uribe, and just 1 intentional walk on Russin's record, and none on Harvey's. Rockies pitching staff is by all measures the worst in baseball, but they got a great start last night from John Gray, and another terrific one tonight. Good cutter to Uribe, 2-2. The Rockies have given up the most walks, struck out the fewest batters, given up the most home runs, and allowed the 2nd most hits of any staff in the National League. That's not good. But Uribe down on strikes, and that's number 4 for Russin to start the 6th inning.
He is befuddling mid hitters. He's got a good changeup. Oh, it's a little slider down and in. They're getting the hitters now to chase a little bit. Pitching in enough to keep righties honest.
Well, here's Cuddyer, first start off the disabled list. A nice play in the last half inning. He's been up twice and flied out to right field both times. Cuddyer won a batting championship as a Rocky 2 years ago. Nice play, Tim Tuffle. The last 2 years, of course, he missed tons of time last season because of a series of injuries. This year, first half of the season, healthy but unproductive. Then the knee problem began to crop up, and he started just 2 games after the All-Star break before he went on the disabled list. Wilmer Flores, who's had a good night tonight, waiting on deck. Well, 2 years ago, when Cuddyer won his batting title, this is what the batting race looked like.
They want it going away, but Chris Johnson had the lead with about a month left in the season and just kind of folded.
Johnson recently traded, now a Cleveland Indian. Braves got Michael Gordon back in that deal. That's hit hard, base hit. So Cuddyer has his first hit since returning from the DL, and the Mets have their 6th hit of the night.
Got a breaking ball here out over the plate. They're getting both sides of Arenado.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Wilmer Flores, who singled to left his first time up, doubled down the left field line his second time up. If you like mathematical progressions.
How about mathematical perfection? Keep the good times rolling, Wilmer.
Well, he's had 370 at bats this year, no triples. So if he's ever going to get one, this would be the mathematically logical spot for it. Cuddyer at first and 1 out. And Flores pulls that one foul. The Tuffle shuffle gets Timmy out of the way. Well, this is the road to the majors for Wilmer Flores, who signed as a 16-year-old right on his birthday. First day he was eligible.
That's a lot of money to sign for.
Hit .307 with 8 home runs as a 16-year-old, and that's when he really got on the radar. And Met fans have been following his progress ever since.
Serious coin. Nothing to be sneezed at. $750,000.
And if you do sneeze, you would buy a lot of tissue. Travis d'Arnaud waiting on deck. Cuddyer no threat to run. And Flores takes a good-looking fastball for a strike, 2-2.
Well, Russin is very, very tactical in this game. He is really spotting that fastball in, and when he misses in, he misses off the plate.
And Flores pulls that one foul.
Nice play.
Nice grab by the ball boy. And the glove flip. Very cool.
Keeps the game moving, too.
Very adept. It's always good when you see people who are good at their jobs in any field.
Nothing used to upset me more than the ball going down the right field corner or left field corner because it went through the wickets of the ball boy, or I should say ball person.
Well, they have the ball girls in Philly.
Yep.
They have the ball dudes, the older folks in San Francisco.
Yes.
But that's more of an honorary position. These guys, the ball boys at Citi Field, they're professionals. Two and two to Flores. And Wilmer wastes that one away. Slider heading toward his kneecap.
So they're going to pull this young kid in 90 after 6 innings because of 86 pitches.
Totally different story. He's a journeyman guy.
Yep.
And with their bullpen, which has been dreadful this year, they'll let him roll. 2-2 coming, and Flores fouls off that pitch. Russin has thrown as many as 105 pitches in a game this year. Last season in AAA, he threw the first no-hitter in the Pacific Coast League in 5 years. Threw 118 pitches in that game. And that's a very good hitter's league. He was in the Cubs organization at the time. And pitched a no-hitter in New Orleans. Flores smacks one to center, but Blackman right there. And that's the second out. Well, there have been a number of hard outs against Russin tonight. That's the latest. First time Flores has been retired tonight. So 2 out. Cuddyer still at first, and now d'Arnaud, who twice has flied to right field tonight. That's been easing d'Arnaud back in since his return from the DL. The plan for the first time since he came back is to play him 3 straight days, which means he should be in the lineup tomorrow. Toward the hole, Reyes on the backhand, the long throw, no chance, and d'Arnaud's got an infield hit. Nice effort by Reyes, but just couldn't get anything on the throw.
His only chance really was to try to get the lead runner in the force. Too much momentum carrying him too far away. Gary, do you sense, I mean, he wasn't prepared to make that throw. You sense that he lost a little bit of that shotgun arm?
Haven't seen enough.
The 2 games we've seen, this is not the judge from this throw.
I think he's lost some range. I don't think there's any question about that. But he made a great play on Harvey going to his left back in the 3rd. So now a chance for Tejada with 2 out and 2 on. Mets are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. Tejada was intentionally walked with first base open his last time up. Different situation here with first and second and 2 out. Harvey's not yet come on deck, but of course he's going to bat for himself.
Shallow outfield, shaded opposite field. Mayhew at second, leaving a big hole on that right side of the infield.
You saw Harvey moving into the on-deck circle. Change up away to Tejada, ball one. Russell up to 90 pitches now. Kadire at second, Darno at first. Mets now with 7 hits on the night. Tejada takes that cutter for a strike, 1-1. Rubin started the night hitting .288 against left-handers. Two and one to Tejada. If you're Russell, how carefully do you pitch Tejada in this spot? It's a tough call, right?
Well, if you go
push that run to third base,
I think 3-1 would change the whole program. Not 2-1. You can make your pitch here.
Tejada hits one toward the hole, base hit. Kadire turns third. Gonzalez has a great arm. The throw to the plate, not in time, and the Mets have the lead. Ruben Tejada with the RBI single, and it's 1-0 New York.
Well, there's the right side of the infield I alluded to prior to the at-bat. And Ruben taking advantage of a high, I believe it was a fastball. Just don't agree with giving Ruben that much of the right side of the infield.
And Kadire running on that bruised knee, able to motor home with the first run of the night.
So nice clutch hitting by Ruben. Continues to perform.
So the Mets, who had been 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, get a big 2-out hit from Tejada to plate the game's first run. Now Harvey with 2 out and 2 on. And he takes a wide strike. Rockies get their bullpen going now with Russin about to throw his 95th pitch. Christian Bergman, first man up in the bullpen. So Harvey now has a run to work with. Matt is 0 for 2 tonight, robbed of a hit his first time up by Reyes. And he chases one out of the strike zone, 0-2.
Mets having a hard time with that changeup.
Darno at second, Tejada at first with 2 out. It's now with a run on 8 hits tonight. And Harvey down on strikes to end the inning. 5th strikeout for Russin, but the Mets finally cash one. And it's the number 8 hitter who comes through. Mason postgame extra. Hey, Keith, that's us. An exclusive online postgame show featuring more reactions from tonight's game and additional analysis from us in the booth on Mets Blog, presented by Citi, part of the SNY.TV blog network. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. First Met game?
Oh.
If so, welcome. Come back often.
Big sis.
Matt Harvey's allowed just 3 infield hits through 6 innings. No walks, 4 strikeouts. Now he has a lead. And Nolan Arenado hits the first pitch right to Tejada. 1 pitch and 1 out on Harvey's 80th pitch of the night. Matt allowed just 2 hits and no walks in his last start. Just 3 infield hits and no walks in this start. 13 consecutive scoreless innings for Matt. The last time he pitched, the Mets had an 8-0 lead when he left the game after 7. He left after 88 pitches, and he's got an extra day of rest. So we'll see how far Terry's willing to go with him tonight. Ben Paulson takes a curveball that misses, ball 1. The veteran Rafael Betancourt is up in the Rockies bullpen. Russon's throwing 96 pitches through his 6 innings. Paulson golfs one off his foot.
That hurts. We'll be singing "Oh Susanna."
Uppercut swing and the ball goes down. And that brings the trainer out along with his manager Walt Weiss.
Stephen Foster.
Don't you cry for me?
Yes.
Well, Steve Foster, we should point out, is the Rockies pitching coach.
Right.
And Matt can only wait as they check out Paulson and see if he can stay in the game.
You cannot stay in the game.
That'd be a little annoying for Harvey, right?
Well, we can get this promo in now.
Oh, that's good. Get to Citi Field this Friday, August 14th, when the Mets take on the Pirates at 7:10. It's Free Shirt Friday, and all fans in attendance will receive a Mr. Met themed T-shirt courtesy of Premio, real Italian sausage. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Free Shirt Fridays.
Russ bought the big long read because
I need to ask you a question in a moment. First, Harvey throws the 1-1 to Ben Paulson, and he was late on that fastball. Do you miss reading the promos? Because you did such a great job with it.
I love reading the promos. It was fun. I'd like to ham it up.
I have to get you a few more.
I'd like to ham it up.
I especially loved when you read the Neo promo. 1-2. Paulson drills one toward the right field corner, and that's an extra base hit going to the wall. So after banging one off his foot, Paulson responds with the first outfield hit for the Rockies tonight, and they've got the tying run in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, the 4th hit for the Rockies. Isn't that it wanted to go upstairs, and Matt just missed inner half. I wonder if that delay kind of threw him off a little bit. But nice hitting by Paulson.
15th double of the year for Paulson. Only the 2nd time tonight the Rockies have had a runner as far as second base. DJ LeMahieu was the first, had an infield hit and stole a base in the 2nd. Was left stranded. So now Harvey trying to protect the lead in the 7th. 1 out, a runner at 2nd, and LeMahieu drives one foul. DJ LeMahieu, the former Cub, having a breakout season. Gold Glove last year, 6th in the National League in batting this year. They've got some very talented two-way players on this Rockies team between Gonzalez and Arenado and LeMahieu. And nice guys to build around.
Well, the only thing you can say about criticism of Arenado is he doesn't run real well. Does everything else superbly.
Well, what the Rockies obviously need more than anything else is some pitching. And we've seen 2 good starts from their rotation so far in this series. Tejada trying to keep Paulson close at second base. 1-1 to LeMahieu with Hundley on deck. And LeMahieu lines one right at Flores. Might be a double play, and it is. Terrible base running by Paulson. He's doubled off, and the inning is over. That ball was hit right at Flores. I can't imagine what Paulson was thinking.
And hit softly, too, Gary. It wasn't like it was a rocket.
So that helps Matt Harvey out. Bad base running by Paulson. 7th inning stretch, 1-0 Mets. For Colorado.
Well, he's had a pretty nice career, but coming off Tommy John surgery, missed all of last season. Did around 21 rehab starts, relief appearances. He's always been the setup guy, originally with Cleveland in 2003, traded over to the Rockies in 2009.
He'll face the top of the Mets batting order in the 7th. A fine outing for Chris Russin, 96 pitches in 6 innings. Gave up 8 hits, but only 1 run. An intentional walk and 5 strikeouts. Mets finally cashing one in the 6th inning on Ruben Tejada's 2-out hit. And now trying to add against the Rockies bullpen that gave it up last night. Lagares has had a good night. His first start in a week, a single and a double. He's 2 for 3. Lagares, Murphy, and Cespedes for the Mets in the bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch, breaking ball for a strike. Quickly 0-2 to Lagares. Let's face another lefty tomorrow night with Jorge De La Rosa on the mound for the Rockies, so Lagares will probably get another start.
De La Rosa is one of those guys, if he's on, he's going to go up against DeGrom. It can be very tough.
That's lined to right field, but it'll stay up for Gonzalez, and that's the first out. So another hard hit ball for Lagares, his 3rd of the night. That's a very encouraging sign.
Well, last night's hero. 1 for 3 tonight.
Murphy now has an 8-game hitting streak going. Change up outside. Betancourt saved some games for the Rockies in 2012-2013 before he had the Tommy John surgery. Earlier this year, the Rockies looked like they had a find in the bullpen, and Adam Ottavino, New York native, who was their closer early in the season but got hurt and is out for the year. Now they've got another New York kid, Tommy Canely, who's from up in the Albany area, closing games for them. He's got that job just recently.
Well, we saw him. We were on the bus coming home on the way to the airport, Tampa, when he saved the last game of that series Sunday in Washington.
Murph nubs one. Arenado has to charge, and the bare hand play in time.
What a nice play. That was a sidewinder off the end of the bat of Murph. And Arenado, the Gold Glover.
Do you pick it up differently, Keith, when it's spinning like that?
You're very concerned about it. You saw the spinning like a top. You see how he got it deeper in his palm, Gary? You got to be able to clamp on it and stop that sidewinding spin. I didn't have to do that because I was a first baseman. Right. You know, it just wasn't my field of expertise. It wasn't necessary.
Do you need bigger hands?
It helps. Long fingers.
Then you might as well be a pitcher.
Not if you could hit.
Here's Cespedes. 0 for 3 tonight.
And there was only one Babe Ruth.
Well, shaking hands with a guy like Dwight Gooden or Pedro Martinez, those guys have such long fingers.
Yes. J.R. Richard for my team.
Big cut by Cespedes.
He doesn't get cheated, boy.
Still looking for his first home run as a Met, and he had a home run swing here. From Betancourt, and the curveball pulled down to third for Arenado. And so Betancourt comes in and throws a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th. On to the 8th. Matt Harvey heads back to the mound, working with a 1-0 lead.
Bank at Astoria Bank. The difference is waiting to make a difference. Visit AstoriaBank.com
by State Farm. Today's State Farm agent of the game is Hector Camillo of the Bronx. Contact Hector at hectorcamillo.com. And by New York, 811-811. Remind you to always call before you dig.
Now, that was almost pretty good.
It was terrible.
Here's Nick Hundley leading off the 8th, and he grounds the first pitch to Tejada. Second straight inning that Harvey's gotten a one-pitch first out on a grounder to shortstop. Well, you see the beginning of the billboard where it says New York Mets baseball on SNY? Well, you left out the Mets part.
Really?
Yeah.
I just said New York baseball?
New York baseball.
Well, fans can figure that out.
It's not the PSAL. Yes, we know. Tyler Clippard, Eric O'Flaherty stay busy in the Mets bullpen.
Well, Gary, when you're in between break, we talked about a quick inning for Matt Harvey. Maybe a complete game?
Well, the only shutout of his professional career came against the Rockies 2 years ago, and he'll need a quick inning here to be allowed to pitch the ninth. Remember, he's pitching on an extra day's rest. Now Parker takes a strike 1-1, and he threw only 88 pitches his last time out in Miami. Pulled after 7 innings with a big lead. John Axford up in the Colorado bullpen. Daniel Descalso out on deck to pinch hit for the Rockies. Parker, it's another dribbler. Who's going to get it? Harvey says it's my ball.
Nice.
2 out.
Look at Harvey. Big cat on the mound. Pounce. Very nice.
And Murphy handling that throw into the runner with aplomb. So now Descalso to pinch hit, the former Cardinal, hitting .220 on the year. And John Axford, former closer with the Rockies and with the Brewers, getting ready in the bullpen.
Well, 91 pitches for Mr. Harvey.
Well, if he can have a quick out here, he certainly should be given a chance to get the complete game. But first things first, he's got to take care of Descalso, who is 1 for 4 against Matt in his career, and I'm sure that's the conversation those two are having right now. Fastball strike.
He's not tired. He poured that one in 96 miles an hour.
That is working on 14 straight scoreless innings. Ball and a strike to Descalso. Well, that's what he's done his last 3 starts, just complete domination. No walks, 19 strikeouts. 2-1 to Descalso. Well, you got Charlie Blackmon, a dangerous hitter on deck. So this is the big batter for Harvey. Working with a 1-0 lead in the 8th. And Descalso takes the off-speed pitch for a strike, 2-2. Full count.
He dumped up on that one. 97.
In the air toward the sidewall, and Cespedes there, side retired. Matt Harvey, 8 brilliant innings. Will he get the 9th? We'll wait and see. Hit central against Carlos Martinez.
Wow.
Well, this was the conversation moments ago between Matt Harvey and Terry Collins. Can you discern what the decision is?
I would not ever be so presumptuous, Gare. I am not certain. I'd love to see him go out there, but I think Familia's coming in.
Well, he's certainly getting ready, whether he's coming in to start the ninth or not. John Axford, who has had himself a very difficult season personally, will come on to pitch in the bottom of the eighth. Mets looking for some insurance. Juan Uribe will lead off. Axford's 2-year-old son suffered a rattlesnake bite during spring training this year and had to undergo extensive treatment. And Axford at one point left the team this season to go home and be with his son. So it's been a very trying year for him and his family. Fortunately, his son is apparently okay, but you can only imagine what his year's been like. One time he was a 46 save league leading closer for the Milwaukee Brewers. That was back in 2011, his best season. He's bounced around since. Cardinals, Indians, Pirates, and now Rockies. Uribe grounds one to Reyes. 1 out. As your Mets box score brought to you by Verizon. Lagares had a good night in the leadoff spot. Wilmer Flores a couple of hits, but Ruben Tejada has the only RBI, a 2-out RBI single in the 6th inning. That is the only run of this game. Michael Kadire scored that run after a 1-out single in the 6th. Kadire 1 for 3 in his first game since returning from the disabled list. And he takes a strike from Axford. Well, whether it's going to be Harvey or Familia, it's going to be the top of the batting order coming up for the Rockies in the ninth. Blackman, Reyes, Gonzalez. So it would certainly help the Mets' cause if they can find a way to scratch out another run. And the curveball, a nasty one. It's 0-2 to Kadire.
Took something off his big hook.
Coming up tonight's Geico Sports Night after the postgame show. Chris Carlin will have the latest on David Wright's Port St. Lucie night. And movie reviews? No. I think it's more Geno Smith. Geno. It's almost an incomprehensible story.
It's not a laughing matter.
By the way, the last time the Mets won a 1-0 game was also the last time the Mets had a complete game. A year ago, June, in Miami, when Zach Wheeler shut out the Marlins 1-0. So it's been a while on either front. 1-2 to Kadire. And that's low and away. 96 from Axford. 2-2. Well, Familia getting ready like he means it. Wilmer Flores on deck. And Kadire hits the curveball foul. Kadire against Axford in his career, 3 for 5 with a home run. Seventh pitch of the at bat, and the curveball hit sharply, base hit. So Kadire has his second hit of the night. Hit number 9 for New York.
One too many slow curveballs. Fished for the first one he faced, and he drew a bead on this one. Just out of the reach of Jose. So nice comeback night for Kadire.
Now it's Flores who's hit the ball hard 3 times in a row. Singled, doubled, and lined out to center field. And Wilmer lines one to right, but Cargo is there. So Flores having a terrific night swinging the bat. 2 for 4. And now there are 2 out in the inning. And it's left to Travis d'Arnaud, who had an infield single to deep short his last time up. 1 for 3 on the night. Got the only run of the game in the 6th inning against Chris Russin, who went 6. Rafael Bencourt a 1-2-3 7th, and Axford trying to finish off the 8th with Kadire at first and 2 out. And this is away, ball 1. Ruben Tejada, who's driven in the game's only run, would be next. Dyer, who is not fast but is a good base runner, looked pretty good running the bases.
Well, he scored on that base hit earlier. He scored the lone run of the game. But I don't think he's going to be stealing any bases.
No. Keep the left-hander, Boone Logan, ready in case the Mets send up one of their plethora of left-handed pinch hitters. Curveball misses to d'Arnaud. The Mets tonight have Kelly Johnson, Curtis Granderson, Michael Conforto, and Lucas Duda all sitting on the bench. And the way Logan looked last night, Mets wouldn't mind that matchup at all.
3-2 curveball hit by pitch will force in a run.
And Murphy got the hit that put the Mets in front against the lefty as well. Talked about it last night, Keith. Nationals about a half hour away from starting their game. Probably watching this in the clubhouse in LA.
Certainly are.
And the pressure that puts on them going into their game against Zach Greinke tonight, if the Mets can post a win. 2-1 coming. Kadire runs. The throw by Hundley on a hop, skips into center field, and Kadire will go to third. So Kadire sneaks a stolen base, his 2nd of the year, and takes third on Hundley's error.
This was a strike. Great jump. Looks like he's okay. You know, look at this location. That's a strike. That's a case where the catcher took the coming up to throw, blinded the umpire.
Well, Kadire surprising everybody in the building. His first game back from a bruised knee, and he steals his 2nd base of the season, and nothing but smiles there. So now d'Arnaud will try and get him home. A 3-1 count with Tejada on deck.
Big run to drive in here. Pretty much straight away in the outfield, on the infield.
d'Arnaud takes a fastball strike, 3-2. Three-2 from Axford, and d'Arnaud takes ball 4. First unintentional walk of the night for either side. And now Tejada will come up. Ruben drove in the only run of the game. He'll have a chance for another 2-out RBI.
And we'll see if they give him the right side of the infield again, Garrett, like they did last time. There's 2 outs. There's no reason to be at double play depth.
Curtis Granderson is out on deck to pinch hit if Tejada keeps the inning going.
And still giving Ruben that right side of the infield.
At least they're not overshifting the way the Rays did. And that was one of the most incomprehensible things I've ever seen.
Yes.
Tejada single through that right side to drive in the game's only run. Kadire at third, Darno at first, and 2 out. And Ruben takes the curveball off the plate. Ball 1. Tejada's RBI was his 21st of the season. And now looking to get Kadire home for a second time. Tejada has faced Axford before, 1 hit in 3 career at bats. And Ruben lays off. 2-0.
Well, with Granderson in the on-deck circle, Ruben, look, this is your pitch to hit here. And if Axford loses Tejada, certainly Logan's coming in to face Granderson, but you want to finish an inning here. So as a hitter, be aggressive.
Imagine Logan coming in to face Granderson with the bases loaded again. 2-0 to Tejada. And Ruben lays off. 3-0. Axford digging the hole deeper. Not only is Familia up, but Eric O'Flaherty as well. Talking to Ricky Bonas, the Mets bullpen coach. Still don't know if Harvey's in or out for the night. Tejada will take one here, and that's a strike. 3-1. Hard-working inning for John Axford. He's given up a hit and a walk. Now behind Tejada, 3-1. There goes Darno. The pitch outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Granderson. Well, last night, Boone Logan was brought in to face Curtis Granderson with the bases loaded, and he hit him with a pitch to tie the game. Will Walt Weiss give him another chance?
Yes. He's top stepping right now.
He's thinking about it.
Here he comes. Of course.
Well, Weiss is going to go back to the same combination that beat him last night and bring in Logan to face Granderson. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. Mets up 1-0 in the 8th and looking for insurance. As Jorge De La Rosa, our coverage begins at 6 o'clock tomorrow night right here on SNY. So Boone Logan brought into the same spot he was brought into last night to face Curtis Granderson with the bases loaded. Granderson getting the night off tonight, 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter this year. Batting for Harvey. And he takes a letter high strike.
Oh boy, borderline. Big shift on Curtis on the right side of the infield, of course.
Dyer at third, d'Arnaud at second, Tejada at first with 2 outs. That means Harvey's out of the game after 8 scoreless innings. Familia will try and save it unless Granderson can extend a big lead. And Logan misses outside with the fastball, 1-1. We were surprised last night at the number of fastballs he threw to Granderson.
But it fell behind the count too, though.
Wound up hitting him with a 3-2 pitch.
3-2 curve.
And Curtis tries to lay off the slider when he went around. 1-2. Curtis has played in every game this year, and this pinch hitting appearance keeps that intact. But now working from behind in the count against his former Yankee teammate, Boone Logan. Logan trying to bail out Axford, who gave him a hit and 2 walks in 2/3 of an inning. One-two coming, and he almost hit him again. Wow!
Oh boy!
The same pitch that hit Curtis last night nearly plunked him again.
Jeez! Bring out that 45 record, Archie Bell.
Dyer, d'Arnaud, and Tejada lead with 2 out. 2-2. And again he almost hit him. Full count. Well, Logan has backed himself into the same corner he was in last night. 3-2 to Granderson, and that'll set the merry-go-round in motion. Ball 4, and it forces in a run. 2-0 New York. Can you believe that?
I can.
Boone Logan ahead in the count, 1-2, and he loses Granderson this time to a bases-loaded walk, and it's 2-0 New York.
Well, there was one refrain in that song. Let me hear you over on the bass there, Hugh. Let me hear on the drums, Herbie. Gosh, that'll get you sent down.
Boone Logan's been around for a long time and been a successful reliever in a couple of different stops, but he has had 2 batters to get out in this series, both times Curtis Granderson. He hit him the first time with the bases loaded. This time he walks him with the bases loaded. Last night, after hitting Granderson, he gave up the base hit to Murphy that played at 2 more runs. This time he'll face Lagares, and they're going to leave him in. They've got a right-hander up in the bullpen, but they're going to leave the lefty in to face Lagares. d'Arnaud now at third, Tejada at second, and Granderson at first. Curtis, by the way, that's his 46th RBI out of the leadoff spot. Pretty good. Christian Bergman has been up several times tonight, but not being called upon here. Lagares is 2 for 4, a single and a double. And takes the backdoor breaking ball outside. Now Lagares with a chance to blow the doors off this game in the 8th inning. Matt Harvey with 8 scoreless innings now has a 2-0 lead as Familia is ready to close it if needed. Driven deep left field. Back goes Parker. It's over his head. Hops up against the wall. d'Arnaud is in. Tejada scores. Granderson stops at third. A 2-run double for Juan Lagares. 4-0 New York.
Just a little cutter up and in. Nice day for Juan.
First start in the week, 3 hits, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs for Juan Lagares. And the Mets take advantage of that Rocky bullpen again.
You took the words out of my mouth.
What a dreadful start to this series for Boone Logan. Now he'll face Murphy, who had the 2-run hit against him last night. And he misses with a fastball. Well, it's no longer a save chance for Familia. He sat down, and Eric O'Flaherty continues to throw in the Mets bullpen, so it looks like the Mets will save Familia for another day.
Well, this is like one of those games now. It's 4-0. Son, you know what? You're going to finish this inning. You find a way out of it.
I think this will probably be his last batter. They've got the right-hander ready with Cespedes on deck. But he can't get out of his own way right now. Last night, Logan faced 3 batters, a hit batsman, a 2-run single, and then finally got a ground ball from Cespedes. Tonight he's faced 2 batters, a bases loaded walk, and a 2-run double. All 3 runs charged to Axford. And now Murphy with a chance to drive in 2 more. And Murphy waving at the slider, 2-1. Well, Juan Lagares, his first 3-hit game since June 14th, nearly 2 months ago. See that number, which keeps building. Mets are 43-7 when they score at least 4 runs. And they now have 4 on the board tonight. Murphy takes a fastball for a strike, 2-2. Well, it was 2 weeks ago that Terry Collins challenged his hitters and said, if you hit, you'll play. Guys like Lagares have taken that to heart. 3-2 to Murphy.
Good Lord.
Anderson at third, Lagares at second, 2 out. 3 runs home here in the 8th. Cespedes would be next. Murphy grounds his 3-2 slider foul.
That was ball 4.
Interesting to me that Murphy last night against Logan hit one through the hole at short, and as they did last night, they still have Reyes pulled over towards second base. I just don't understand that against Murphy. With a lefty on the
I'm in total agreement. Especially with 2 strikes.
I mean, that same hole that he hit it through last night is wide open again. Although Arenado may be cheating a little closer to it. Murph fights off the fastball.
He finally threw a fastball in. And he wanted it away.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat from Logan to Murphy. Bounces it off the leg of Lagares, and that's the 3rd out. Well, Lagares couldn't get out of the way. It's a put out to the shortstop, a base hit for Murphy. It ends the inning, but the Mets score 3 runs in the 8th in support of Matt Harvey, who's now in line for his 11th win of the year. Go to the 9th, 4-0 Mets.
Murphy should take him to dinner.
All right, gents. Curtis Granderson, who walked with the bases loaded, stays in right field. Eric O'Flaherty will come on and try and get the final 3 outs with a couple of left-hand hitters due up in the inning.
Well, he's had a rough go so far. He did get the one left-handed out, but then he had struggled in the following inning when he started it fresh in Miami.
This is his 4th appearance for the Mets. Charlie Blackmon leads off and takes a fastball for a strike. So Matt Harvey threw 97 pitches over 8 innings, no runs, 4 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Matt lowered his ERA to 2.61. He's got 15 consecutive scoreless innings under his belt. Another tremendous performance by Harvey tonight.
And looking like he's on his way to his 11th victory.
He only allowed 1 hit out of the infield. The other 3 hits were all infield singles. Ben Paulson hit the double to right in the 7th, then promptly got doubled off second base. And that was the Rockies' biggest threat of the night. A 1-1 to Blackmon with Reyes and Gonzalez to follow. And Blackmon chops one slowly. Flores hurrying in. 1 out. Harvey didn't walk anybody tonight. And if O'Flaherty can get through this 9th without walking anybody, it would be the first time in 2 years that the Mets have gone 3 straight games without issuing a walk. Last time was in 2013 with the starters in that sequence: Harvey, Hefner, and G.
Well, that'll make your pitching coach happy, but it'll also make your manager doubly happy.
Certainly enhances your chances. Here's Reyes batting right-handed for the first time tonight. He's 0 for 3. And he drives one toward the gap in right center field, and that'll go all the way back to the wall. Reyes motoring to second. He's going to pull in there with a 1-out double. So O'Flaherty, who has really struggled against the righties this year, they're hitting .400 against him, gives up a booming double to Reyes. Now he'll face Carlos Gonzalez.
Nice swing by Jose using the opposite field, the opposite gap.
You see Murph, he had to scramble out of his way. He was about to be called for obstruction. Well, Jerry's Familia gets back up in the Mets bullpen as Carlos Gonzalez comes up. One more base runner will create a save situation for Familia. O'Flaherty will face Gonzalez. Then you've got the right-hand hitter Arenado coming up. Gonzalez 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 7 in the series. The home run last night against John Neese. And he goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. Gonzalez 3 for 9 in his career against O'Flaherty, who had his heyday as an Atlanta Brave. There's Arenado on deck. Struggled through the first part of the season with Oakland. Mets picked him up when they found out that Jerry Blevins wasn't going to be able to come back after refracturing his arm. 1-1 to Gonzalez.
You'd like not to be able to use Familia today.
Got his 31st save of the year last night with a 1-2-3-9. One and 1 to Gonzalez, and he tries to hold on the slider, and he did. 2-1. Chad Fairchild with the call down at third.
St. Louis retook the lead in the 5th, 4-3. That's a barn burner right there. That's a heck of a series.
There's a lot of dislike in that National League Central. Have you noticed?
Yes, it's competitive.
The Reds and the Cardinals and the Pirates, they all seem to despise each other.
Cubs.
Nice easy hop for Flores. An 0 for 4 night for Carlos Gonzalez. And now the Rockies are down to their final out of the night. Reyes at third with 2 out. It's left to Nolan Arenado. First time all night the Rockies have gotten a runner as far as third base. And now O'Flaherty will try and finish it off against Nolan Arenado. Arenado 1 for 3 tonight, had an infield hit back in the 4th. Rockies have only been shut out 5 times this year. Mets have 9 shutout victories. And Arenado takes below the knees, ball 1. The Mets go without a walk tonight. It'll be their 20th game this year without a walk. They've already set the franchise record with 19 walkless games this year. Just been an extraordinary pitching season all the way around. And Matt Harvey was right on top of it again tonight. Arenado takes a strike. 1-1. Reyes at third and 2 out. Well, Flaherty trying to finish off the Rockies. Two and 1 to Arenado. Ben Paulson, a left-hand batter, would be next. Two and 1 to Arenado. And he swings over the slider. 2-2. So the Rockies are down to their final strike. In the air, left field. Over goes Cespedes. He's there. And the ball game is over. 8 brilliant innings for Matt Harvey. The Mets scratch out 4 runs. Juan Lagares puts it away with a 2-run double. And the Mets have now won 9 of their last 11 as they beat the Rockies tonight 4-0.
And they continue their torrid pace at home, where they've been very difficult to win, and with the Nationals now ready to open up a 7 o'clock game on the West Coast up against Greinke. They got something to look up there, a 4-0 Met win, and just a brilliant performance. It's all about Harvey. Harvey, the man of the hour.
And now 11-7 with a 2.61 ERA. Tonight's game summary presented by Verizon. The Mets have now won as many home games this season as they won all of last year. They're 40-18 at home this year. They were 40-41 for the full season at home last year. There you see the numbers on tonight's game. Lagares in the starting lineup for the first time in a week, responds with 3 hits, a couple of doubles, and that 2-run hit that put the game away in the 8th inning. For every Mets win, the Mets Foundation is proud to contribute $2,500 to the Cats Women's Hospital and the Cats Institute for Women's Health. For more information, visit northshorelij.com/KIWH. This win brings the total contribution so far this season to $152,500. Mets shut out the Rockies, beat them for the 2nd straight night, 4-0. Back to Flushing in a moment.